just what it is.
You need dawa hukuchukua.
Dawa gani?
Hey, those ones zako za mende. They don't usually take.
Tuache hapo. Because apparently here Sheila Kwamboka, karibu sana.
Thank you.
Roy Karuizi, welcome, sir. Leo nimekuita sir.
I know, but it's deserved.
Yeah,
deserved, believe me.
Deserved manangoa, as they say. Remember, the hashtag to use is Pub Breakfast and also the SMS line is 2242. Today we want to try and talk about two issues, if we can, if time allows. I guess we can dispense with one very fast. And this is it's a video that has been doing rounds about...
we don't name names.
The power... We don't name names?
Sio sana.
Si sana kidogo tu.
Half name.
Half name, okay. Well, all right. So we're going to talk about... Let's start with this one that we were just talking about so we can get it out of the way. It's been doing rounds about this lady, I almost say something else, who wants to leave the husband. And we know Kenya is very famous. We are runners, and now we are lovers. Love runners.
Yes.
Yeah, because she's running away from America to come to Kenya. Before let's take a look at the clip of this happened on Dr. Phil. Let's take a look.
Married for 18 years. We have 4 beautiful boys. She was the church secretary and homeschooled our children, the perfect housewife and mother. Sarah is my best friend, the love of my life, and the gift that God gave me. 2 years ago, everything changed. She went to a Nigerian all-natural doctor for some help. She lost 15 pounds, changed her diet, and stopped breastfeeding. I wasn't physically attractive to her anymore. I was devastated. She lost interest in being intimate with me. She started buying sexy underwear. 8 months ago, I found out that Sarah was messaging and sexting African men online. We agreed to work on our marriage and went to counseling. Each day we're supposed to pray for each other. God, protect my wife from believing the lies of the enemy. Protect her from people who seek to take advantage of her or who seek to hurt her. And then the bombshell. Sarah says she no longer loves me and she wants to start a new life with some guy from Kenya named Kevin. She's never even met other than online. She said she wants to divorce me and abandon me and my 4 children. When I asked her what Kevin has that I don't, she goes, oh, you don't want to compare. Well, you know, the stereotype they say about African men, there's no way you can compare even if you get on Viagra. Oh, I was beyond angry. She's blinded by this guy. I think Sarah's being brainwashed. She's put me through hell right now, but I cannot say anything bad about her. I want to be the rudest, most vindictive person right now, but I can't because I love her so much. If Sarah goes to Africa, she may end up disappearing in the jungle and getting eaten by lions or jackals. I hope that Dr. Phil can help me. The Sarah that I married would have never wanted to leave me.
Right, that was on Dr. Phil. Let's get a couple of things out of the way.
Yeah.
Why is it that they feel, I know it's very serious, but let's get a couple of things out of the way. Ati akikuja Kenya, she'll go to the jungle, get eaten by lions. Kwani hatuna buildings?
No, it's not that. They're talking about politicians.
Good.
To be honest, I was.
That's not what they're talking about?
Just
jungle.
Police can do jungle na land.
Hyenas.
Ni wanasiasa.
Hiyo ni bunge.
Hiyo ni bunge. Talk about parliament.
For me, I watched that clip and I really felt sorry for the guy. Up until that part where he said, I'm scared she'll come to Kenya and beat him. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
For having such a narrow view.
I mean, I think the key issue here is I don't think there's anything that guy can do to get his woman back. It's just the sad reality that you see, the funny story is we've not even heard what the guy, you know, or the lady's side of the story.
Yeah.
But from what we understand, she's fallen in love with some guy on social media, and she's looking to uproot her life in the States to move to Kenya.
4 children.
To be with this guy.
How many years? I think 11 years or
Imagine.
15 years.
Yeah, so this is someone's mind who, you heard the guy saying she's been brainwashed. That's not actually what's happening. Because social media, you can present yourself however you want.
Exactly.
You see? And the reality is, I don't even think the social media is what has caused a problem in their relationship. For her to be going out to look for this, that means there was something in their relationship that wasn't working. Yeah.
4 children later.
Yeah.
I just love it. You know, I don't want to play a political analyst here. That I'm the expert in the relationship, so therefore I know what her problems are and what she's missing from this guy. All we can take is what we can observe from the outside in terms of what's the general picture that's going on here. For me, it just shows the power of what, as Sheila's talked about, in terms of what social media is.
What it can allow you to present.
It's beginning to create people. It's beginning to create... Now we're three-dimensional people. It's creating an entire person. It's created an entire relationship. Once something has reached that level, it's scary. It's scary that's where things... Because we're still formulating our relationships and everything through this new medium. Let's call it artificial intelligence. Because these are not real people. These are not real relationships. There's nothing solid about that. So that's why I was very dismissive about it. At the end of the day, when the guy talked about brainwashed, he's just using very polite words for ujinga. Those are Mzungu words for ujinga. Honestly, because I don't see the story like Sheila. She doesn't know the guy. We don't know her side of the story, as Sheila is saying probably. But one thing that is very sure is, if two people have not physically met,
and she wants to approve,
what is the point of interaction that the relationship is based off? It's based off a story.
Let me ask you.
It's based off a story.
We must understand that women and men perceive relationships differently. If a man goes out and physically indulges with someone else, that's cheating. Yeah. But for a woman, it just takes the thought of going to cheat on you. She's already cheated on you. Why? Because it's an emotional thing. Now, the fact that this lady took a moment to open up to someone on social media, it means there's something she could not be able to tell this guy, or there's something that's lacking. So for this guy to be this upset, it's not even about the fact that she wants to uproot herself and leave to go to Kenya, or to come to Kenya. What he's most upset about, I'm sure, is the texting. You see, he was saying that they were sexting. It's not even a physical thing. There must be things this lady feels comfortable to tell this guy that she's not willing to tell the husband, and that's where the problem.
My question is,
I think the essence of the physical part of the relationship is very important. It's very important. And I'm not saying the physical relationship in the sense that you cannot build a relationship that's strong without being physical, but I'm saying the fact that that's what cements the relationship. Yet this woman is already saying, I'm moving, she already made a commitment.
But let me ask,
you can't make a commitment without any physical engagement.
If you talk about the fact that this, like there's something that this lady can't tell this guy, but it's been what, 11 years, 4 children, but I was younger.
No, look, a lot of things, human beings, the key thing, which is why I applaud people for being in relationships, is it's so funny that human beings change. But you want your relationship to still be the way it was the first day you met. It has to keep evolving. So there could be things that are affecting your life, maybe work, blah, 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 and it makes you enclosed. You're in your space. Am I still supposed to be seated here saying everything is going well? And if I'm not able to communicate with you, then either way, I still need to communicate. Either way, these emotions that I have inside me need to come out. So as soon as, and that's why you find, like, usually when women want to cheat, they'll find someone who's just not too far, someone close. You'll find maybe it's a workmate.
Not too far.
Not too far. No.
Crossing the ocean.
This is a different situation. But what you find is that the person who will give a shoulder to cry on, that's the one you should be worried about. Because once emotions are invested, you see, it started as communication, and now she's like, I want to live here and go and be with this.
And he actually started by saying,
and it's just a conversation.
Willis, I'm blaming the medium. I don't know why Sheila's complicated it into emotions, connections with him, sexting and what. This is all a dimension that doesn't exist. It's all created.
And plus, they say that the lady started talking to African men generally.
Yes.
Then she narrowed down to Kevin from Kisii.
Yeah.
Because he had a better story. He made a better movie.
Right.
And plus he sent a picture of something that she got impressed.
Plus, you can't really blame Kisii guys. Shout out to Kisii guys.
A
Kisii guy can reach through the phone and connect to someone's family in the States and take that wife and bring her.
He sent a picture of something. She just said,
hey, you don't compare. You don't compare.
Yeah.
But also the other thing that happened, if you look at, because Roy normally likes taking us back to the root. And communication. The guy said that what happened was this lady went first of all to a Nigerian herbalist.
Yeah.
Naka change weight yake. So now the guy was no longer attracted to the lady. And then now is when I think this lady started going to this.
She said he was not attractive to her
after
anymore.
That. After
because she worked on herself and he didn't. You understand? Here's a guy seated the way he started his relationship is how he thinks, and a lot of people go wrong in that. People have aspirations. As human beings, we're aspirational. You want to look at yourself in a certain way. So this woman has gone and worked on herself. She's lost weight, and she's like, she feels fantastic, she feels fabulous. But this guy is still stuck in that space. Instead of, if he really wants to save the relationship, then have interest in the things that she has interest in. Yeah. So how she's going to work on her weight, you're still over there, and you're like, you think she'll still be one. Clearly her aspirations have changed. You either work on that or
guys, you know, you're complaining about so many things. Imagine we're sitting here dissecting a relationship and saying all the 7 things that could have gone wrong in this relationship. Yeah,
that's how it started.
So you were just sat there looking at Zimbabwe and we're saying this is a meeting Mugabe had with some cops in the middle. We have not been there, so you don't know what the situation is and what has built and come through this. But what I like is at least she has gone back to the beginning and said, what are the things I've noticed at the start when he said it started with? Because that's the essence of the problem. The rest, but then the real essence is it started with the witch doctor. Let's not discuss that.
Herbalist,
Nigerian herbalist.
That's a polite witch doctor. It's like a witch doctor who was not graduated and a PhD. Ameanza tu kichini chini. He's not, he's a
herbalist is a doctor,
yeah. Kula nyasi, sawa. Anyway, the fact remains is that when you're talking about the fact that the things she changed and the guy didn't live up to her, are we blaming the guy for not rising to her new demands or her new point of interest? What I think has just happened here, Will, is a very simple thing, is a relationship has expired. Someone has reinvented themselves. Because a relationship expires, things become flat, and one person then starts and says, I want something new. I want to try something different. And they do something different, the other person doesn't catch up. Sad story, we can't blame the other person. Because, remember, the person who was in the other relationship enjoyed the comfort zone they're with the person they liked at that period of time. The wife was just making it look like the guy hasn't kept up with her. She probably has become a monster. It's not him who's depreciated. And this monster, this beast, as he's looking for another beast, and no wonder she came to Africa because she knows there's more wildlife. So she came to look for wildlife here. But guys, realistically, I think again, it's setting expectations and setting expectations, as I said, the new world has created new demands, new expectations, and that's what putting pressure in a lot of relationships. They're not lasting because we're putting new demands on them, guys. And the first thing that ends up putting those demands starts with what? This thing.
The gadget.
The gadget. It's putting so much pressure.
I think one of the key...
We're not learning to have an attitude of gratitude.
Right.
Attitude of gratitude.
Attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
Can I just also say, I feel like also... I feel like we blame social media. I feel like we blame social media a lot. You know, like, I think at some point human beings, we need to take responsibility. You know, me personally, I hate buffets. You know, I hate the buffet because I'm like, this is a waste of food. Just give me one option. Give me the ugali with the sukuma wiki and the nyama, and let me know that's what I came to eat. Don't tell me there's rice here. No, but there's chapati. Oh, but there's meat, but there's pork. Because what it ends up doing is I'm lost. I'm lost, and this is my personal story. And you can use that same analogy to describe what's happening on social media. Social media is not an evil. It is actually it's a platform. It's just the same way telephones used to help us communicate. You understand? Even then, I'm sure there are people who are saying, oh, it has brought relationships and blah, blah, blah. But it was a medium that was created for a different purpose, but human beings have used it for something else. What social media presents is the buffet. You understand? Before you had social media, you had a small, a small circle of people that you could look for. Maybe in the club where you are, in your office, in your friend zone. That's where you'd find me, probably the person you'd meet. Right. Yeah. But now you have a situation where there's a guy in Kenya who thinks you're attractive. As in, if that's not a morale booster, I don't know what is. That there's someone 2 continents away that's willing to say you're beautiful. You understand? So what it's creating is the buffet. The challenge, what we're saying, okay, the social media illusion is that people actually fall into that buffet. You decide you want to pick everything rather than picking using it to get what you need and getting out of there.
That's why I'm saying I agree with you, Sheila. I'm just saying that probably in that case, I am saying this social media or this platform has created a problem by us being the ones who are not capable of handling the platform. So I think when I blame the platform, I start saying blame the platform as excuse, as it's the ignition of the problem, right? Now what we have done is activate the problem by actually turning that ignition on. Now, this is where the challenge is.
Right.
We look at we still do not have the capacity, as Sheila's called it, a buffet. You see, chakula tena, and we have to move away from food. As Sheila's called it a buffet is that we don't have the capacity to manage this thing yet. We have not understood what its use is, and we still believe it is the one that is offering the extreme value in our life rather than it's about how we use it. Right? So we're turning to social media to give us solutions rather than to assist us in the decisions we have made. You know, it's become the new... And for me, what is really worrying is the fact that we are forming entirely virtual relationships out of this thing.
Out of that, yeah. It's very sad, and of course...
it's supposed to aid what you have.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be what you have.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Because I feel like in this particular situation, and most of the times when we're here, we look at social media as the problem. And so I ask, if this lady didn't have social media, would she still have done the things that she did?
Probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can stop. You see, people use... in this situation, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, it's because Facebook is what's causing the problem, blah, 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 the buffet. And I'm like...
No, it's how we're using it. We're agreeing with that.
Even if
akungekuwa
na Facebook, this guy would still be complaining about how his wife is seeing... is
the neighbor,
looking outside.
Probably.
Yeah, because now she has an option of choosing exactly the kind of meal that she wants.
We agree with that. I think here for us guys, let's look at what the big lesson is. I think the big lesson here is that it's very important to refresh. I always go back to Pastor Kuria's days, just before the state of emergency. Yeah. And I always start by saying, let's look at what's the difference between what the life was then and where we are today. At that time, I think what happened is, don't call it ignorance, call it whatever it is, but people were comfortable in who they are in their space, right? And whatever was working, they kept it going. That's why marriages were lasting 56 years, because this is what I found, this is what I'll work with. And they're comfortable, yeah, because there were a lot of compromises made to maintain that comfort. Today, right? One thing is, because we're living in an impatient world with a lot of changing things and a lot of exposure, in order for things to survive, you need to keep them fresh. Which means within our relationships, over the 4 years period of time, let's not get comfortable, as our parents had the liberty to do. To get comfortable and say, because hunt for the same animals, pick the same tomatoes, eat. In fact, they ate the same food.
Up to today,
they were eating the same
menu in our house is the same.
There was A, B, and C.
Up to Leo, Sunday, Gedere.
You can be a 7 course, then they finished on 2 course.
Right?
Yeah. So, right now, I think the challenge upon us is to keep refreshing our environment. It's just more pressure. I mean, our relationship, sorry.
Right.
We have to keep reinventing them.
All right. Now, of course, we want to, right after that, speaking about that, we've called it many names, Tabiambaya. And speaking of reinventing and what happens in terms of the cycle, one of the big stories right from when we heard it from Kevin Spacey, all about harassment and what Roy is calling Tabiambaya, came from Kevin Spacey, went on to many other people, and then it finally came down to Kenya. And that's what normally happens in any news cycle. Ukisikia leo kuna kitu imefanyika huko, unaanza kuona ripple effect and many people coming out. Actually, no. Started with Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh.
The harassment claims.
Yes.
Right? Then went to House of Cards. Yeah. Then went to... Now we're in Kenya where local actors blamed on social media. But it's more of the attack and the defense that was happening on social media, where men would say, apana ni wasichana ndo wanakuanga na tabia mbaya. And women would say, no, you still don't have an excuse. 2 quote-unquote bigwigs were attacked because of the comments they were making. And what do you guys think? Is it tabia mbaya? Is it that Kenya, we still don't have that mechanism to call it out for what it is? Because some things that happen, especially in organizations...
Let's talk about it realistically, right? This whole story with Weinstein and
Lupita Nyong'o,
and Lupita claiming that she's been harassed by him. Of course, not claiming, sorry, she was, yeah. And then, of course, other people being harassed and the stories coming out. Most of the stories that have been claimed are talking about things which are actually, some of them go back to the 90s.
Yeah, 30 years actually was.
Some 10, 20 years.
Yeah,
so it shows you that problem of men harassing women is not a new thing. What happened is now people are talking more about it. Two, at that time, traditionally it was accepted. Sorry to say this. There was no exposure. People felt, as a woman, you're supposed to bear with it and go through with it. Today, people are talking more about it. And I'd like to add on, if you even look at local scenarios, some of the guys are actually innocent. However, for the ones who are not, right, I think we've become a bit crass with the way we handle ladies. Let's be very honest.
For wale hawalewi
Crass. Tuko whereas rough as unajua hiyo mawe ya none of sufficient
sandpaper.
Sandpaper hata hiyo ni gist. Hiyo ya kusafisha mbao, yes.
Yes.
Sandpaper.
All right.
We have become rough with the way we treat women. You know, remember chivalry, the word you can't
word,
say.
yeah.
It was all about opening doors for women. Dema kiuliza kiti unamvutia kiti. All sorts of certain things. Those ones are gone. Yeah? And I think men are responsible for it. Lack of manners about men is highly responsible, 70%. 30% women have contributed to it because those manners are no longer being demanded out of guys. You're no longer demanding that out of the guys, so they know that's not a priority in our relationship. So they just forgot about it. And now you're full of rough guys who are able to pay bills in restaurants and bars. That's what you're left with.
We're going to
not to pull chairs anymore.
As Sheila is taking a breather, we want to take a short break. I
see
she's filming. We allow her to simmer. Ako boiling point.
Achemshe vizuri. Unaweka maji, unamchemsha Sheila kidogo. Alafu unamweka
tosha kabisa. We're going to take a short break. Like they say, pay some bills and then we'll be back.